Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jadisola. If you're new here and you see my face for the very first time, welcome to my channel. And if you like my content, please make sure you subscribe before you exit this video. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you very much for all the support that you've been giving me ever since I started my YouTube channel. Today's topic is something that I am actually very passionate about, and it's about, reinventing yourself. So for people that are following me on Instagram, you would realize that at the beginning of April, I started a 30-day Make That Move challenge. And basically what I was trying to do was to sit back and then just think about what I want for myself. And I think at different points in everyone's life, even multiple times within a year, we constantly, think about these things. Now, I'm one of those people that, at the end of every year, I try to set goals for the coming year, if that makes any sense. And one of the things that I try to do is I try to set realistic goals. I tell myself, no, okay, so this is not your typical New Year's resolution, but it is something that I would like to achieve in the year. And then what would usually happen is I will start off with very high energy and then maybe lose steam in between, or maybe start to procrastinate. And then before you know it, the year is done. And then you're like, okay, so all the things that I said I was going to achieve, or the things that I said I wanted to do, I didn't do any of these things. And I wanted to be more conscious about, setting my goals and achieving them. And that was why I started the 30 days challenge. So I'm going to be sharing a lot of the things that I learned in the 30 days and things that I tried to implement in the 30 days. Basically just trying to rebrand myself and just become a better person in general for me. And I think that that's very important for anyone who's thinking about this. You're not doing this for anyone else, you're doing this for you. And I think those kind of incentives are the things that would help you to stick to whatever plan that you eventually come up with in how to become like a better self. So the first thing I did when I started this 30 days challenge was to really just sit back and think about, what's my self-identity? Like, who do I think I am? And one of the things that I realized is that a lot of us are not able to identify ourselves outside of what we do for work. Right? So, you hear responses like when someone says, oh, so who are you? They say, oh, I'm a product manager, or I'm, Stella's mom, or I'm Deji's wife, or I am Kunle's sister. Like, a lot of us are not able to identify ourselves beyond some core things that we think represents us, if that makes any sense. But what I've also realized is that at different phases in your life, your identity can actually change. So in a particular phase, you can actually be some of the things that I said earlier, but in other phases, you have to be somebody that is different in order to achieve whatever goals you're setting for yourself. So basically just thinking about who I am, and I know that it's still like, a journey for me, but I'm basically at a phase where I'm trying to rediscover myself. I'm trying to identify who I am outside of my work, right? Who am I behind closed doors? Who am I when no one is watching? Who am I like at the core of my being? And I started to identify some things, right? I know that I'm an empathetic person, but what does that even mean to me, right? I know that I love to share knowledge. So what does that mean to me? Like, all those things, I spent a lot of time really just thinking about, who I identify as, who is Jadisola, and whether or not I came up with a concrete answer of this is who I think I am. I think I was able to identify who I think I am in this phase of my life. So the next question that I had to ask myself is, who do I want to be, right? Because like I said earlier, if I'm going to be something else, if I'm trying to reinvent myself, does the current Jadesola meet the requirement to be the future Jadesola that I want to be? And for a lot of us, like, that answer is no, right? It could be that, the Jadesola that I want to be in the next couple of months is a Jadesola that needs to be extremely disciplined, is a Jadesola that maybe needs to shed some weight. Not literally though. Maybe literally, actually. We all have that fitness goal, right? Anyways, but maybe that Jadesola needs to be someone that is more conscious of her time. Maybe that Jadesola needs to be somebody that needs to spend some more time with herself. Do you understand what I mean? Like, you have to really think about who you want to be, right? So that you can identify who you need to be in order to be that, future self of yours. Sometimes what you want to be may be things around your goals or about what you want. And sometimes a lot of us might not even know what we want. And that is not wrong. But if we're also able to identify the things that we don't want, I think it's always a good place to start. And it could be anything from, oh, I don't want to be struggling financially, right? That's always something that is usually in people's goals. Or I don't want to be unhappy. Oh, I don't want to be secluded from life. I don't want to be, it could be anything that you don't want to be. It starts to help you to think about what you want to be, or the things that you want for your life, or the goals that you want to achieve. I knew that I needed to spend the 30 days that I spent just really taking time out for myself to really think about what are the things that I want. So another question that I had to ask myself is, what does success look like to me? Because everybody has different definition of success, and different people may have different definitions that would accumulate into what success means to them. So it could be that, oh, success means that you want to have a family. Success means that you want to have more money in the bank. Success could mean that you're able to maybe travel the world. Success could mean that you want to be the head of the department in your organization. Success could mean different things to different people. Success could mean that you want to be better at your spiritual life, and that is okay. And success could mean a accumulation of all the things that I just mentioned. And you have to be able to define what success looks like to you, so that when you're there, right, you're not measuring that success by another person's yardstick. Because sometimes we fall into this trap of comparing our lives with other people's lives, and what's driving them is totally different from what's driving you. And you have to recognize what that is for you, so that it can make sense to you when you've actually arrived at success. So that the next question I was now asking myself was, okay, so I had all these goals and things that I said, oh, I was going to do in the new year, and I didn't really do them, right? Yes, I did some, right? I started the year off with so much energy and so much positive energy, but I ended up not doing some of them, or not being consistent at some of the things that I said I wanted to do. And I was like, okay, so why did you not do these things? Why did you end up procrastinating, about doing some of these things? And, I came up with a lot of excuses as far as I'm concerned. I don't want to say reasons, because a lot of the times we're able to come up with different reasons why we are not able to do certain things. It could be that, oh, we will say, oh, I don't have time, right? Or life happened. Or I told myself that, okay, so once it's the end of the month, then I'm going to start. Or maybe I'm just like overwhelmed and I just couldn't get started. Or maybe I'm worried about what people are going to say. Or is it that I have low self-confidence and low self-esteem in order to embark on this, journey to achieving this goal? As in, like, you will sit down and then you will think about why you're procrastinating, and then you will end up concluding, like I said earlier, that they are all excuses. A lot of the times we say, oh, we don't have time, we don't have time. And while we might be very busy, we would find that we always have time for the things that are important to us. Always, always. Yes, I'm talking to you. That mom, right? Your kids are important to you. Therefore, you will find time to take care of your kids. You will find time to do their homework. You will find time to get them to the salon to make their hair or cut their hair. You will find time for them. Right? If your friends are important to you, you will find time to see them. You will find time to talk to them on the phone. You will find time to spend time with them. You will always find time for the things that are important to you. So, which is why I said these are excuses. Saying that we don't have time is just an excuse. The next kind of excuse of, oh, I don't think I'm confident enough. I don't think that, I'm well equipped to achieve this. And, when I think about a lot of things that I've achieved in my life, I'm like, it wasn't like I knew what I was doing a lot of the times when I started. Do you understand? And so therefore, these are still excuses for why we're not getting started. Nobody ever has everything 100% figured out. Nobody really starts out with 100%, confidence level. A lot of the times we wing things and things happen. A lot of the times we actually, do certain things, to maybe build more self-confidence, and then we go and implement. But saying that we're not confident enough, or we're not 100% sure of, whether or not we should do certain things, if you don't try it, how would you know? After spending so much time asking, the questions around why have I been procrastinating, and I know why, I'm now like, okay, so how can I achieve the things that I want? What do I need to do in order to achieve these goals that I've set for myself? I came up with a bunch of different things that I could do. And for you as well, like, it could be that you need to, just spend some time with yourself, right? Sometimes I feel like I push tasks that it will only take me, and I'm not even joking, 10 minutes to do. And I push them out for 1 week, for 1 month. And all I need is 10 minutes of quiet time. Sometimes that's all you need. 1 hour of quiet time, 2 hours of quiet time to do these things where there are no distractions. Other times, it could be that, I feel like I need to educate myself. I spoke about self-confidence. The reason we're not as self-confident is because we don't know a lot of things. So if you don't know certain things, by all means, educate yourself, right? And when I say educate yourself, it doesn't mean that you have to go through like a formal education. But I also know that there's a way that I like to learn, and you have to find out for yourself. So I'm not the kind of person that likes to read, which comes as a surprise to a lot of people, right? But I know how I like to learn, right? I learn by watching videos. I learn by listening to podcasts or audio content. I learn through images, pictures as well. I learn from talking to people. So find the ways that you can use to educate yourself. If it's that you need to take a course, by all means do that. If you think you need to go back to school, by all means do that. But whatever thing you think you need to achieve those goals, start to set them in motion. So the next thing I thought about that I needed to achieve my goal for me was, I'm like, Jadisola, you need to be selfish right now. And one of the or two sayings that have actually been pushing me a lot, especially this year, is two things. Number one is you cannot pour from an empty cup, right? And the second one is you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. But I'm going to go to number one first. Imagine an empty cup, right? You don't have anything to offer anyone, right? And then people are asking you to come and offer them something. How are you going to give them what you don't have? Like, you can't give what you don't have. So you need to spend time filling yourself up with whatever thing that you need, whether it's knowledge, whether it's, information, whether it is, more money, whether it is, more, friendships, whatever thing you think you need to fill yourself first before you can start distributing to people. And that is where I think a lot of us, fail ourselves, because we keep giving to others, we keep pouring into others, but then we don't have time to replenish ourselves. This season is the season to be selfish, right? What is it that I need to do for Jadisola? What is it that I need to do for myself? And I think at intervals in our lives, we need to spend time to think about these things. Yes, it's good to share yourself. Yes, it's good to give, but you cannot give at your own detriment. Like, you will not be of use to anybody if you yourself, you are not okay. The other thing I thought about was, and this might be as part of selfishness as well, is to declutter my life. There's so many things that are like noises. It could be relationships, it could be friendships, it could be habits, it could be anything really that you think is not helping your life move forward. And I'll move to, some friendships that that this friendship, right, is one-sided. You know that this friendship drains you. You know that this relationship brings you negative energy. Like, but you keep nurturing that friendship because maybe this is the person that I've known for a long time, or this is my childhood friend. What are people going to say? Or I don't think I have the strength or the energy to cut this person out of my life. Those are like valid, thoughts to have, that you've invested so much in this relationships. It could even be family, and you're like, no, I don't think I'm ready to let these people go. Right. But think about it this way. And when I'm not saying cut people off, whatever, but if you need time away from negative energy, by all means, take it unapologetically. Like, take as much time to yourself. And if you have to cut people off, by all means, cut them off. Because again, like I said, you can't pour from an empty cup. You're still struggling, trying to fill yourself up. Then somebody else is draining you in a way that is not beneficial to you. Why are we doing this to ourselves? If you're giving me negative energy, I'm not going to spend my time, nurturing this friendship, because you also realize that not only are these people draining you, energy-wise, they are also taking your time. Which takes me to the next thing, around, what I need to do is I need to manage my time properly. I mentioned earlier that we come up with excuses of, we don't have time. I started to audit my life, and I'm like, Jadisola, what is it that you spend your time doing, right? You have a 9 to 5, right? Which means that after 5 o'clock, a lot of the times, you are actually free. You have the rest of the day to yourself. So what is it that you do? And I realized that I spend a lot of time on the phone. Jesus, like I could spend 5 hours on the phone with different people. So I'm like, okay, you want to do all these things, but you're spending 5 hours on the phone. So think about it. I finish work at 5 o'clock, and then 5 to 10, I'm on the phone with different people, shout out to my sisters. I enjoy talking to them, right? And then I have some friends that I spend a lot of time on the phone with. And then by 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the night, I'm spent. I'm tired. I can't even spend time to think about, the things that are important to me. What do I want to do next? I just want to lie down on my couch and just watch Netflix or just sleep. And then the day is done. So when I say that I don't have time, what is it that I'm doing? It means that I need to be disciplined with my time. I've realized that, if I dedicate like 1 hour to doing something that can move my goal forward, I realize that I do achieve a lot. So I may not need so much time in the day to actually start to move these things forward, but I'm spending this time on the phone. So the last question I had to ask myself is, where do I start? Because all the things I've been mentioning earlier, who do I want to be? Who am I? Why have I been procrastinating? What are the goals that I want for myself and all whatnot? They're all fine, but where do I start? And I realized that a lot of the reasons or excuses that I had was I had so many goals that I wanted to achieve, and I was trying to do everything at the same time, and I got overwhelmed, and then I stopped, right? So I'm like, you know what? Okay, I'm going to pace myself this time around, right? I'm going to list all these goals that I want for myself, and I'm going to look at the ones that have like the least path, of resistance, which are the ones that I think I can achieve earlier. Because, human psychology, we like to win. And sometimes, having quick and easy wins is a good place to start, right? What are those things that I can do really quickly, right? That can help me, set into motion how I can achieve my goals. I'm not saying, I'm going to achieve my goals in 30 days. And that's one of the things that I did, right? I said, okay, what are the things that I need to do to set this thing in motion, right? Okay. So I was thinking, I love to teach, right? And it's one of the reasons that I started my YouTube channel, sharing knowledge that I have or sharing my experiences. So how can I package this experience or my knowledge or my gifts or whatever into something that can eventually benefit people and then also benefit me at the same time? And I'm like, okay, maybe I'm going to launch an online course. But it takes time sometimes to launch an online course. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to spend some time learning how to, create an online course. So I spent April sort of like doing that. How can I put some structure into these things that I do and also create them as maybe side hustles eventually that can generate me income? Another thing, I was like, okay, so I like to travel, right? I looked at my passport and my passport was about to expire. I spent April, applying for my passport renewal. And even though I don't have my passport yet, I'm like, by the time my passport comes, I don't have the excuse to say I'm not applying for visas or I'm not traveling. But even before that, there's so many places in England, in the UK that I can explore without needing my passport or without needing, to apply for visa. So I can start from there, thinking about those quick little wins that will stop you from making excuses as to why you're not getting started. And I think it's a good place for everyone to start. Ask all these questions and tell yourself, so where do I need to start, right? Take baby steps. That's number one. Number two is, in as much as you're taking baby steps, you need to be disciplined. There is nothing in this life that comes really easy. Like, it's about the discipline that you have around your life, the habits that you have around your life, the things that you're used to. If you can, be disciplined enough to reach out to people after work, you can be disciplined enough to spend some time, educating yourself or building something for yourself. You can do that. I also understand that these things are not going to happen overnight. But what happens with a lot of us is that we don't even get started at all because we're thinking about, oh, people think, oh, what's going to happen to me? Oh, this is not me, or whatever. And this doesn't have to be you right now, but with every goal that you want to achieve, you have to spend some time or some form of investment in yourself to be who your future self needs, if that makes any sense. And I know that I spent a lot of time, in this video talking to you, but also talking to myself at the same time. And I know that these things are not easy, but if you can spend some time, just like I did 30 days, really identifying these things, no pressure. It is not to achieve my goal in 30 days, but it is to set in motion the things that I need to do to achieve my goals. And then I can pick one at a time and start to achieve those things. What are the quick wins that I can quickly achieve? What is it that I need to do? What are the things that I need to declutter in my life? What sort of discipline do I need in my life right now? These are things that you can also do. And I know that this video is stretched out for so long, but this is a topic that I'm actually very passionate about. And I hope that, for anyone that has watched this video, you have benefited something, from watching this video. And on that note, I hope that you will take the step to reinvent yourself. And if you have enjoyed this content and you want more of this content, please make sure to like, subscribe, and share with your loved ones. And I will see you next time. Bye.